Welcome to the Success Sensei podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in. This is Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life one kick and punch at a time. Today I'm talking about fuel your thoughts for success. And this is episode 206. Welcome to the starting round.
Hands up. It's the starting round on the Success Sensei podcast.
Fuel your thoughts for success. Everything starts with a thought. Our thoughts are really all that we have. I don't know if you've ever watched any movies or read any books about people who have been incarcerated and locked up for long periods of time, or anybody who has had their basic rights taken away from them, or their physicality or their freedoms, etc., etc. Well, basically, the ones that fare the best are the ones that can control their thoughts, because that is all you have. And I do see similarities. While it's not as bad as being incarcerated or your freedoms taken away, it is restrictive that what's going on at the moment with all the precautions for COVID and the pandemic. And we're currently on level 5, hoping that at the end of level 5, at the start of December, it will be reduced so that we can have, a somewhat decent Christmas and December and into the new year. But it may not be. It may be extended, or it may be reduced to still a restrictive level 3 or level 4. Who knows? So being able to control your thoughts, being able to keep your anxiety and your stress levels in check is very, very important, especially now more so than ever. Now, anything more than that, anything that you think isn't manageable, obviously you should seek professional help. But a lot of things you can manage yourself, and it's up to you to manage your thoughts. It is up to you to fuel your thoughts, and you have to actively do it. It is something that you're going to have to think about doing, fueling your thoughts. You owe it to yourself, and you owe it to those around you, because when you're unhappy yourself, it's very easy to become more unhappy, I guess. And it's very easy to make those around you unhappy. Kind of like when you wake up tired and grumpy and you start snapping at everybody around you and affecting their moods. As I said, anything more than that that's not manageable. I'm not talking about, people suffering from depression or severe mental health. Obviously, anything like that, you're not going to be able to manage it with just fueling your thoughts. So this is for the 90% of cases that we can actually manage ourselves by fueling our thoughts. And if you're going to be brainwashed, we're all brainwashed. We all hold on to false beliefs. We all have set beliefs that we haven't changed, or, we believe in things that just simply aren't true. We're brainwashed to some extent. If you're going to be brainwashed, you may as well brainwash yourself with positivity and fuel your own thoughts, and not just leave it to the powers that be outside of yourself to brainwash you. So protect your mind. Junk in is junk out, just like your body. If you have a bad diet, you can't expect your body to have peak performance. If just not even you putting it in, but if you're allowing rubbish going into your mind on a daily basis over months and years, you can't expect your brain to perform at an elite or a high level. So junk in is junk out. So obviously you're looking for goodness to go into your brain, so that goodness comes out of your brain. Your schooling doesn't have to be the sum total of your education. So there's a lot of people I talk to who, their lack of schooling or their lack of academia basically puts a chip on their shoulder for life, and they think that it's a huge, massive downfall and that they can't overcome it. You absolutely can. There's absolutely nothing stopping you from self-educating. And the powerful thing about self-education is you can simply choose to study the things that motivate you. And when you study things that motivate you, you study harder and longer and with more enthusiasm, and you get more out of it, and it's easier to be an expert in your area. So schooling doesn't have to just stop. So, there's many people that didn't do well in primary school, or didn't do well in secondary school, or maybe didn't even complete their secondary school, which would be high school in the US, and maybe didn't go on to college, or went on to college and did, a degree in something that isn't that valuable to them now. I mean, there's many drawbacks. There's many things that you can hold for the rest of your life. You leave school at what age? 18 here, 17, 18. Maybe you go on to college for a couple of years, maybe you don't. And then you live to whatever age, 85. And the majority of your life, those, here I'm going to be tested on my maths, those plus 60 years, you have a set image of yourself based on your primary or your secondary school education. It doesn't make sense as if that's when your education stops. It doesn't. So educate yourself, put the thoughts in, take the time to read the things that you want to do whatever courses you want to do that is going to help you with your goals. There's always going to be an ongoing internal battle in your mind. Every decision does count. Everything adds up. Again, to compare it to eating healthy, every meal does count. If you cheat on every meal, you're not going to have the physicality that you wish you had. If every decision you make is to waste time or to put garbage in your brain or rubbish in your brain, then over a long period of time, it is going to catch up with you. So, you want to make sure that what you're putting in is positivity, and you actually do need an active plan to do it. Time is time, so every minute of time is going to pass. So every minute that you put in rubbish versus every minute that you do something productive, the time is going to pass. Every decision does count. What are you to avoid? What specifically am I talking about that is rubbish in the brain? You already know what I'm going to say. You already know that the answer to it. I'm not saying have, a meager, meek lifestyle where you don't know what's going on, your head's buried in the sand, and you don't allow yourself to enjoy the pleasures of life, or you don't enjoy, entertainment, or being able to waste a bit of time. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying get it into balance. You do know already that endless social media when you should be doing something else isn't good, and it's not fruitful. It's not going to get you anywhere, and will make you feel worse about yourself for wasting the time and all the stuff that you've probably taken into your mind that's made you feel inadequate. Wasteful meetings, that's another one in businesses and companies. I've pretty much gotten rid of all meetings. We just do informal meetings. We talk about what we need to talk about when we have to talk about it, because there's so many wasteful meetings that occur that don't actually achieve anything. Gossip, small talk, idle chat. As I said, if you want to participate for a bit of entertainment, we're only human. But too much, excessive amounts are absolutely futile and will get you nowhere towards your success path. Now, here's the biggie. The news and all the hourly negativity blasts. The media are having an absolute field day with the pandemic and with COVID. There's the news, by the way, the alternative news. I'm going to list them in the news as well. So even the ones that you listen to and you think, or you read these are better than the normal news. This is the alternative news. They're giving me, a different view on things. It's still negativity. And the whole premise of it is negative because it's saying that the mainstream are trying to cod you and trying to scam you and pull the wool over your eyes. The whole thing is negative. Too much of it. Absolutely be aware of what's going on, but you don't need an hourly report. You don't need to be immersed daily in everything that's going on. Everybody that I've spoken to that have said they've taken a break from the news, or they've lowered their consumption, or they've literally not listened to any news for a month, for 30 days, has said that their happiness levels has increased. They've said that they haven't missed out on anything either, because if there was anything of importance, the people that they meet on a daily basis would bring it up in conversation. So they actually didn't feel that they had missed anything. So that's one to think about. Now, your positivity mindset can be changed. So you can change your mindset to be positive. If you're holding on to the fact that you're a negative person, or that you are the way you are, or that you can't change, you're wrong. Of course you can change. Of course, you can increase your positivity mindset. You don't have to increase it in any way that you don't want to increase it to. You don't want to go around, with a massive smile on your face that you can't get rid of. Like, you don't have to go around like a happy clown all day long. And if that's the image that you have in your mind, you're putting yourself off from improving your mindset. But you do have control over your mind. You do have control over your thoughts. Your mind is stronger than you think. Now, that's kind of a strange one. That had me a bit flummoxed when I thought about that. Your mind is stronger than you think, but you know what I mean. Your mind is a hell of a lot stronger than you will give it credit for, especially if you feed it and fuel it more often with goodness rather than badness. So that's all we're saying. More often than not, consciously put in positivity and reduce your access or reduce your immersion in negativity. It's easy enough. It might be harder to do because you're tested on a daily basis, and yourself, your focus and distraction come into it, and suddenly you're off down a rabbit hole, wasting time that you didn't necessarily want to waste, and coming out at the end of it with the wasted time, feeling guilt over the wasted time, and having gotten no entertainment or enjoyment out of actually what you were doing in the first place. So look, have a think about it. Fuel your thoughts for success. If you can make small changes, it will make a massive difference, especially over the long term. Especially it's needed right now, when I do think society in general is very negative. It's at one of the lowest ebbs I've certainly ever experienced. And if you do focus too much on the news, you will really think that the world is broken and that humanity is broken. So in order to counteract that, in order to beat it, you most definitely need to read more, watch motivational stuff, educate yourself with motivational documentaries or movies, do a bit more studying. Absolutely get what's in your mind out. So writing, I think writing, whether it's for something that, that you're going to make a product or not, or whether it's just for yourself as a therapeutic process to think on paper, it's a very valuable thing. But spend your time with loved ones, obviously exercise, go out in nature, pet a dog, anything that you think can give you positivity and it is an alternative to the negative thoughts and a negative immersion in things that you really don't need to immerse yourself in. Right, I think I've banged on about that point enough at this stage, but it is a daily battle, and the next thing to tempt you can knock you off the wagon. So just be very, very focused on that, and don't be afraid to actually write down your plan. What's your manifesto for fueling your thoughts for success? Now there's one. There's somebody who would be really committed to the cause. If you need a hand with that or anything else, message me anytime. All reviews are greatly appreciated. Please check out thesuccesssensei.com, and as I said, message me anytime. Stay safe. Thank you for listening. I'm Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.